We're going to go ahead and begin our A block tonight with what appears to be a case of the left hand not quite knowing what the right hand is doing when it comes to U.S. foreign policy. Iraq says, following the U.S. assassination of Iran's top commander, Qasem Soleimani, that U.S. troops must leave their country. Again, this is Iraq and their parliament deciding the United States must go. Mr. Trump says it isn't going to happen unless Iraq pays for it. But much like the wall in Mexico, it appears as Iraq didn't get the message because they're not going to pay. Because, in fact, like I said just a couple of hours ago, U.S. military commanders are saying they will pull out of Iraq in the next couple of days and weeks. Joining us now, former governor of Minnesota and Navy SEAL, Jesse Ventura, who also hosts The World According to Jesse, right here on RT. I don't even know where to begin with this. I'm confused, and I follow these things all the time. And I know you're extremely frustrated both about Iraq and what's happening now in Iran. How do you put these two together, Governor?
Well, you know, to me, it's total craziness. You're looking at a fact of what has happened to the Constitution, in my opinion, in the United States of America. It's clear that the president and all our federally elected officials, they take an oath to it, but that's all they do, because all they do is seem to want to break it. Now, the president's up to be taken out of office based upon the fact, one of the facts that he broke the Constitution by seeking help from a foreign country to get reelected. Well, that's nothing compared to this. We now assassinate a high-level ranking officer in another country's military without a declaration of war? What happened to declaring war? That's why this is indeed an assassination. Because we haven't declared war against Iran, yet we can kill one of their top-ranking military officers because the president says so, which totally violates the Constitution of the United States. You're not supposed to be able to go out and assassinate people of another military without a declaration of war. Where's Congress on this?
You seem angry, Governor, but let me ask you another question about what we learned today. And this appears really curious. You know, we have already spent $2 trillion in Iraq, and we owe another $6 to $7 trillion. By the way, I say owe because most of the money for the war in Iraq was borrowed from China. But what's interesting about this is now it appears, at least, that we're getting ready to head out. That we're just going to take all our 5,000 troops that remain there and leave and essentially give it to Iran. You know, and I know, that everybody said if you go into Iraq in the first place, it'll end up in the hands of Iran, right?
Absolutely. You know, you go back. Saddam Hussein was a minority in charge of Iraq. His enemy was Iran. Well, when we went in and took out Saddam, the majority of the people in Iraq are the same religion as the ones in Iran.
Shia.
So the majority then took over. So that opened the gate. Rick, that shows me this was all planned, going all the way back, and I'm going to say it with 9/11 and the whole thing. You look at what's gone on in Afghanistan. They lied completely about that war. They lied again about weapons of mass destruction, ties to Al-Qaeda. They're saying this guy was now going to lead some imminent attack on the U.S. Well, how could just taking him out stop that? If the attack is going to be that big, what was he going to do? Wrap himself up in dynamite and run into a big building? No, he's going to lead some type of military attack against us, and by simply taking him out, that's going to stop the attack? I don't think so. We're setting up right now to go to war.
I understand your political concerns about the fact that we have stupid politicians. We always have. Kind of goes with the term, right? But I'm kind of taken aback that our military, the guys at the Pentagon, would agree to what you just said, assassinate what is essentially a foreign leader using our missiles. That does seem a little queer, a little strange, doesn't it?
Well, and the thing is about this, everything we've done since the Trump administration has gotten in there has been directed at getting Iran in a fight with us. We pulled out of the nuclear deal. We've been doing everything we can, poking them, doing this, doing that to them. And now this is like the big one. We take out, and you see what happened over there. Iran was a country that was divided. They have a lot of people there that want a new regime, but by doing what we did, we've solidified them now. Any chance of a regime change there, in my opinion, is dead in the water, because they all got a new enemy now. It's us. And, you know, we're out there now starting another war. We've been at war since for 20 years now, and now we get to continue. What you got here, too, is the example of when you got a draft dodger who runs the military, this is the result you're going to get, where one hand doesn't know what the other hand's doing.
I haven't seen you this fired up in a long time. Jesse Ventura, thank you, my friend, for doing this appearance for us on the show and sharing some of your...
I think hey, Rick, we're at a point right now. We're on the verge of war. I get fired up on that.
And you should, like any American. Thank you, Governor. We appreciate your time. So you haven't heard that we're the ones covering the stories that you won't see covered anywhere else? In Venezuela, Kazakhstan. Let's go to Hong Kong. And the media reaction to that has been crickets. How about the way we cover those stories? What the hell does that mean? Wally, Wally, Wally. That's the key word in this case, uprising. Keep, can you believe that? Watching. This is the right thing for members of the media to do, to actually pick sides. Look, if you like what you see, subscribe.